Alright guys, so today we're going to be testing out the top 5 best-selling items from Amazon. So this is a very, very random list. All I did was go to the best-selling tab, pick the top 5. Some of the most random items I've ever seen that I would have never guessed would be best-selling items. The first one, coming in at $98, the Bissell Little Green Portable Carpet Cleaner. And to go along with that, I have probably the toughest test that this thing will ever see in its entire life. I have the floor mat out of my Corolla that I've owned the car for, I think, 12 years, and I've never cleaned it with a carpet cleaner, and I think I've only vacuumed it off 4, maybe 5 times, if that. This is going to be the most extreme test possible. So it comes with the unit. With the unit, you get a cleaning head like this, and then there's another cleaning head that I don't remember where I put it, but it's looked basically useless, so we're not even going to fool with that one. So we need to fill this up with cleaner, which I think goes here. That's where the dirty water goes. So our cleaner goes here, okay? So it came with a bottle of the Bissell Spot and Stain Powerful Cleaning, which is what we're going to need. Eliminates odors, bright and fresh spring scent. I am going to be shocked if it can really do much of anything against this. So I think this probably takes the whole bottle. Oh, maybe not. I think that took about half the bottle. So you get about two cleanings with that. That's pretty good. And then you're supposed to fill it up with hot water. So I don't know how hot this is. This is just as hot as the tap would get it. Alright. I think we're ready to go. Wow. They weren't kidding when they said strong scent. Whoa, 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 whoa. Why are you spewing water all over the place? I guess you gotta do this part fast. Okay, I don't love that, but whatever. So I think what we're gonna do is probably clean just like this area, because it's all tore up and it's not really gonna stay down. And then we'll see, we'll see how clean this gets. I have a feeling it's probably just gonna turn into like mud because there's so much dirt. So I think we just. This nozzle is like not the best. It really sprays a very wide pattern. Now I think we gotta scrub it in. Oh, that is. I can already see all the dirt coming off of it. I don't know if you're supposed to scrub while you do it or what. I think this is really working. You can see on this thing how much dirt it's sucking up. And it's already looking much lighter, which is crazy for like 10 years of dirt. I think getting it soaked and then really scrubbing it in, I think that really does it. So far, I am super impressed. It's crazy how much dirt this thing is pulling out. I mean, look at that. That's I mean, it's nowhere near, new, but I mean, this thing is so far gone. There's nothing that's going to bring this back to new. But that is an amazing improvement, especially for how dirty this thing was. And we only used like half or so, like half a tank. I bet if I used the whole tank and just sat here and scrubbed and scrubbed and scrubbed, I bet I could get it probably 80% of what it was when it was new. Let's take a look at this water. Oh, jeez. Look at that. That is crazy. That's just literally mud. Look at that. That is literally just mud water that we pulled out of that floor mat. Okay, that is disgusting. I can see why this thing is a bestseller. This is really, really good. Especially if you just had some carpet that was just a tiny bit dirty, had a little bit of a stain on it. I have no doubt that this thing would probably take it out in no time. If it can do this good of a job on something like this, and pull this much out, something like a little stain, I don't think would be any problem. I would give that like a 9.5 out of 10. That is really amazing. Alright, so before we go any farther, this video is sponsored by Manscaped. Manscaped has sent me the Lawnmower 5.0 Ultra. So let's see what's inside. You get the trimmer, which comes with 3 different guards, so you can trim at different lengths. You get the trimmer itself, which has skin-safe technology, so that way you won't cut or nick yourself. It also comes with 2 different lights. It is also waterproof and rechargeable. You also get an extra shaving head, so that way you can get a nice close shave. Also comes with a nice storage bag, and then of course you get the charger to charge it. So along with that, they've also come out with the new body buffer, which is a silicone, basically a silicone loofah. So that way, it doesn't grow bacteria, and it stays safe. And it's got these nice little silicone little fingers that you can use. It's got a nice little handle, so you can scrub yourself. If you're interested in any of these products, you can click the link in the description, and you can use code TUBE, and you'll get 20% off, plus free shipping. So the next item on our list, coming in at $28. This is one of the ones that when I saw that this was a bestseller, I was like, what? This is a best-selling item? I was very confused. It is an electric vacuum sealer for mason jars. I assume for like people who can. Why is it called canning if you're putting the food inside of a mason jar that's glass? Why do you call that canning? That was very, very shocking. So let's give this thing a whirl. Instructions. Don't need that. We got the device. The can opener, which we'll probably need. Charging cable. Don't need that. I don't know what this is. Oh, lids. So it's supposed to be for wide mouth and regular mouth. I only have the regular mouth. We are going to vacuum seal a marshmallow because if I remember right, whenever you put marshmallows in a vacuum sealer, or in a, not a vacuum sealer, in a vacuum chamber, they puff up really big. So we're going to try that out. You can see that it has a hole right here where I assume it pulls the vacuum. If you put this lid on here, okay, this is sealed pretty much right there, right? So if you put that on there and you put this on top of that, how's that going to pull a vacuum? Because this should prevent it. What do I know? I just make YouTube videos. So let's just give it a whirl. And then okay. I don't see anything happening to the marshmallow. Is that it? It didn't even really expand. I mean, it is under a vacuum, a little bit. A strong vacuum. It's peeling the skin off my thumbs. But nothing happened to the marshmallow. Are they supposed to get really big? So does it just like not do a very strong vacuum? If it doesn't reach a full vacuum, wouldn't that be unsafe to store food in? Because if you're storing food, wouldn't you want as much of a vacuum as humanly possible? I have a full-size vacuum chamber. Let's put a marshmallow in that, and then see how that reacts. I guess we can have something to compare, to go off of, to see how much vacuum this thing is pulling. Vacuum pump. Vacuum chamber. Marshmallow. Let's pull a full vacuum. Alright, I think that's about as far as we're gonna get. The marshmallow doesn't look... I mean, I can tell that it got a little bit bigger, but it doesn't look as big. I thought that they would get like... Maybe it's when you put them in the microwave. Because I remember there's something that you can do to them, and they get like 5 times their size. And I thought it was a vacuum chamber, but maybe not. Come on. Get in. What? When did that happen? Was that as I let the pressure out? Look how small and wrinkly that is. So that's like the opposite of what I expected. So that's okay, that's a different reaction. If that's what a full vacuum does, then that means that this is nowhere near a full vacuum. Because this didn't make it any bigger, and when I let the pressure out, it just stayed the same. So this is just like, I don't know, sort of a vacuum. I don't know where we go from here, but that's interesting. All right, so everybody check this out. I had a 10,000 IQ idea because I have a giant brain, and I thought it wasn't going to work, but now I know that it is going to work. So I took the gauge off of the vacuum chamber, because I wanted to put it inside the jar so we could see how much vacuum this thing was pulling, but it doesn't fit inside the jar. And somehow, out of everything I've done with mason jars, I do not have a wide mouth mason jar in my possession. I don't even know how that's possible. So, I ended up finding a glass that I have that happens to be the exact same width as the wide mouth mason jar lid, and this can hold our pressure gauge, and then we should be able to vacuum this down. We just need to take this piece off, and then we should be good to go. So full vacuum is negative 27. I think that this is probably going to do... I think if we get negative 10, we'll probably be doing pretty good. I mean, it didn't deform the marshmallow. It definitely didn't make it shrink like that. Negative 10. Oh, we're getting a vacuum. That's not looking good. So what was it? Negative 5? Negative 5. That's not even anywhere close. I'm sure somebody can correct me if I'm wrong in the comments. I don't think that that's enough of a vacuum to preserve food. Maybe it is. Like I said before, I would imagine that you want a full vacuum or as close to one as possible. I don't think negative 5 is going to cut it. Let's see if maybe we can get more. I'm scared. I don't know what this glass is rated to vacuum-wise. This thing could implode. So I'm going to push the button again. I imagine that it's probably already at max pressure, and that's why it stops. I guess we'll see if it gets more. Oh. Something crinkled. Oh. Never mind. I don't think it's going to do anything. It's still at negative 5. Okay, we got like negative 5.1. I think we're at the max. Please don't do anything. Just stay in one piece. Yeah, negative like 5.1. I don't think that's enough. Maybe it is. You guys let me know in the comments. Get out of this in one piece. I'm terrified? Okay, there we go. Alright, so, interesting. It does pull a vacuum on your mason jars. It does seem to do its job, although I don't believe that it pulls enough of a vacuum. But hey, What do I know about canning? All right, next product. Coming in at $99. We have the Roto Shovel. This is supposed to be an electronic shovel. 12 volts. This, I think this is just a drill with an auger. So I guess the idea here is you have the shovel part, and then you can kind of dig in and then like auger your way into the dirt instead of digging into the dirt. I have my doubts, but hey, let's go try it. All right, so I found a nice little spot right here. Seems good enough. Let's just see if we can dig a hole. Really? That's what we're... Wow. What a nice device that is. That's so much easier than just using a shovel. How revolutionary. I mean, what are you supposed to be digging? Like what kind of hole? It has like no torque. Probably because it's legitimately a 12-volt drill battery, which doesn't have that much torque. So I don't get it. Like, why? So just for the sake of comparison, I took the auger bit off of that and then just put it on my really old brushed Milwaukee drill. See if there's a difference. Oh, there's a difference. Oh, if I wanted to dig a hole, I could do it easy. Yeah. So the problem is, just like what I suspected, this auger is just attached to an extremely cheap 12-volt drill, so it just doesn't have any power or torque, which is exactly what you need for this. So that's horrible. Next product. This one comes in at the very steep price of $44. This is called Gramps Weeder. This is apparently to help you pull out dandelions, and you stick it in the ground, and then apparently like this clamps onto the dandelion and pulls it out. And as far as I can tell, I only have one dandelion in the whole yard, so we have one dandelion to test it out on. Now we got right here. So I think our idea is that we stick this on top of a dandelion and then stick it in there. And peel it up. That did absolutely nothing. It will go the other way. So that's cool. Oh. That's how we got it. We got the dandelion. And I don't know anything about dandelions, but does that look like the root to you guys? I think so. So, I mean, I guess it works. So, like, I mean, yeah, that works. The idea works. I wouldn't exactly say that that's worth $45. I'm not going to want to go around to every single dandelion, stick this in there, pull them out, and then have to remove it and then throw it somewhere. I'd say just leave the dandelions there, because who really cares? But I guess if you want to remove them, this will do it. It's just not, it's going to be a kind of a painful process. If I had to rate this out of 10, I would say like a 6. And I wouldn't pay, if this was $15, okay, that's a pretty good buy. But $45? I don't think so. All right, so our last item is none other than a pink Stanley Cup. Specifically, a pink one was one of the best sellers. I don't really know how to do a review of a cup, but I do know that supposedly some woman left her Stanley Cup inside of a fire and inside of a car fire, and apparently there was still ice in it whenever it got done. So I got some ice and some water. I got a fire going. We're going to throw it in the fire for probably like 20 minutes or so, and then we'll assess the damage. Okay, obviously here's our fire. I'm just gonna, hot, it's really hot. Just gonna put that in right there. Seems like a good place. I also just realized that I do not have a way to retrieve that. So that's a little bit of an oversight on my part. All right, so here's what's left. That was an absolute disaster. So first of all, I had my cell phone there to film it. I was going to film the whole 20 minutes so you could see kind of like a time lapse of it. So probably 5 minutes in, the fire was so hot it overheated my phone, so my phone shut off. So that's gone. And then at about probably the 7-minute mark, the lid had completely melted, and then the wood shifted, and then all the water dumped out. So there was no real sense in going past that. So then, like I said before, I didn't really have a good way to get it out. So I was under the impression that there was a piece of metal in here that was coated in plastic. So my plan was I was just going to take the Gramps weed thing that we tested, and I was going to just hook the handle and pull it out. No big deal, right? Well, as you can see, the handle is fully plastic, no metal. So then I decided to take that thing. Actually, let me get it. You can see this thing is all charred. So my plan was, originally I was going to take this piece, hook the handle, pull it out, no problem, right? So then instead, for about 25 minutes, I ended up just playing the world's worst carnival game, and I was trying to hook it like this and like somehow pick it up out of the fire, but that wasn't working at all. Every time I would like try to get it to shift, it would like roll under a log, and then I'd have to pick around and move the logs out of the way, and then try to do it, and then it'd get like trapped on something else. It was a whole disaster. It took probably, like I said, probably like 25 minutes for me to even get this thing out of the fire. I don't know. I mean, it's a metal cup. This is what metal does in the fire. All the plastic bits melted. I don't know if I'm buying that this could survive a car fire and still have ice in it, because I might be wrong, but I don't think a campfire is anywhere near as hot as a car fire. So if a campfire melted it out in like 7-ish minutes, I think a car fire would do it way faster, unless the car fire just wasn't that hot. There you go. Take it for what it's worth. You can come to your own conclusion. That's what the Stanley Cup looks like after a fire. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one.